Yesterday, all eyes were onto the game of Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid because we all knew to it that Arsenal had already gone ahead, obviously, go through after beating PSV in the first leg by 7 goals to 1. And guess what? Their game of football went ahead to obviously happen, and it ended, and that of Real Madrid went to extra time. That means the entire world turned its sights to that game that was played at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium to see to it that Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, who obviously comes out as the winner. And guess what? By the end of the 120 minutes, it was still 1-0 in favor of Atletico Madrid. The aggregate was 2-2, and they had to go to penalties. And when they went to penalties, I tell you what, there was a scenario that everyone has gone ahead to obviously talk about differently, but anonymously people have come out and unanimously people have come up and obviously given their thoughts, and they're like, Julian Alves really went ahead to obviously have a double touch onto that. So welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as don't miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It's a Thursday in my country, 13th of March 2025, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. This is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as all your football teams are really concerned, apart from one team that is none other than Manchester United. Remember, for those that really love Manchester United, find me at United Matters channel. Now, Arteta was one of those people that really came up and obviously went ahead to put in a very huge say about who they're obviously going to face. Remember, by the time he went ahead obviously hold his post-match press conference, the game was going to extra time, and he had not obviously known which team they're obviously gonna face officially. And this was his submission, that is Mikel Arteta. He said on whether he has a preference between Real Madrid and Atletico, he said no, because they are so different, both of them. The styles, the managers, the history of them, we know about the difficulty for sure, but I cannot tell you one of them. So I think the manager was really spot on, and him being spot on, it really meant a lot. And it meant that he has been making research on those two teams, and he knew to it that he could obviously face one of those. And that was a result of him coming out and obviously putting in a very huge shift, and he found himself in a position of really winning the first leg by 7 goals to 1, meaning that he had all the ample time to obviously think about all the opponents and do some good research about those opponents. But they all have two different styles, that is it. When you look at Atletico Madrid, it's a pack the bus and hit you on the run. Then for Ancelotti, he plays an open game because of the fluidity of the front three that he really has: Rodrigo, Vini, and Kylian Mbappe. That is the man himself, known as Real Madrid. So he says he wouldn't choose any of those, but whoever comes will come, and the chosen one will be the one that Arsenal will obviously plan for. And guess who the chosen one is now? The chosen one is none other than Real Madrid. And if you've been knowing the history, Arsenal and Real Madrid have just gone ahead to play themselves twice, and that was in the Champions League season of 2005-2006, where Arsenal beat Real Madrid by 1 goal to 0, and they also drew, meaning that Arsenal knocked out Real Madrid, and they went ahead to play into the finals where Barcelona humbled them in the dying minutes 2 goals to 1. So it shows you exactly that Arsenal is really having a higher pedigree than Real Madrid. But for Real Madrid, there are really people that have come up and obviously put in a very huge shift into this game of football, because they've gone ahead to win 15 Champions League trophies, and Arsenal have gone ahead to win none of those. And they've only played, I think, one final and I think one semi-final. That was the semi-final of 2008. It was in 2009, and United went ahead, obviously knocked them out, and United played two consecutive finals, and they found themselves in a position of really losing to Barcelona in that of 2009. 2008, United had knocked out Barcelona at the semi-finals, courtesy of Paul Scholes' goal at Old Trafford. And Pep came in through and went ahead, obviously put in what we call a very huge revenge. The final ended 2-0 in favor of Barcelona. So, what really brought all this? I tell you, this is where everything really turned out. And people have gone ahead, obviously, talk about this a lot. And I don't know what your submissions are. Now, we've gone ahead, obviously, getting through from CB Sport. Christian Unkel, he has told us that the decision to overturn Julian Alvarez's penalty was made by semi-automated system. So, Julian Alvarez went ahead to take a penalty, and that semi-automated system came up and obviously said no. He really hit the ball twice because he slid when he was taking that penalty. Though it crossed the line, but it hit both foot. And those are 2 touches, and that is unacceptable in the game of football. And that shows you that sometimes when luck is not on your side, things don't happen. You see, I think it first hit, this was the first hit, and the second hit came in here. So it hit 2 feet when he was really taking it. And this is what happened. You see, by the time he was hitting it with his right foot, this left foot also was near the ball, and it really went ahead to make 2 touches. And those 2 touches were the reason as to why that goal was really disallowed. And in disallowing it, you know what went ahead to happen? Obviously, it changed the mindset of everyone. And that was 1, Atletico Madrid, 2, Real Madrid. And that's how the game of football went ahead to change before Hernandez, is it Hernandez or Martinez came in through and obviously went ahead, obviously struck his shot at the frame of the goal. So that's how things went ahead to change. And after that, lots of people have come up and obviously had something to say. And let's obviously hear from Diego Simeone. Diego Simeone came out and said, they asked him about Julian Alvarez's penalty. He said, I think if VAR reviewed it, they would have seen that Julian touched it twice. I want to believe it. Obviously, he wants to believe it that they touched the ball twice, and that really caused the side of Atletico Madrid to see that penalty of Julian Alvarez crossed out. You understand? Then he also added, and he was like, the worst Madrid team in years. He said, it seems to me that you are being very harsh to an incredible team with players like Vinicius, Mbappe, Valverde, Bellingham, Rodrigo, and Brahim Diaz. And then he was asked, was it luck? He said, I don't talk about luck. I want to talk about being proud of the team we have. Now, they went ahead to ask him on whether it was really one of those moments where they could describe this as being luck. He said, no, he doesn't talk about luck in football. And he was asked on whether this is the worst Madrid team in history, and he was like, who tells you? They really have some good players. And by the way, if people are talking about the worst Madrid team in history, that means they've not been here to watch certain games, you know? Sorry, that season where they had Essien, they had Lassana Diarra, they had Adebayo, you understand? And that was under Jose Mourinho. I think the worst Madrid team in history was that of Jose Mourinho. I tell you, it was really the worst. You can't tell me that a team that has Chiomini, it has Carvajal, it has Thibaut Courtois, it has Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Bellingham, you know, Modric, that it's one of the worst Madrid sides, then you're really kidding. And what you're talking about, you are not even well conversant about it, because as things have gone ahead to stand, this is gonna be one of the best teams that Madrid has ever gonna hit her, because it's a young team, and they're going to reinforce it with more young players in the summer. And they're obviously going to be one of the hardest nuts to crack in the Champions League era. Thierry Henry, who really went ahead, obviously scored that goal that Arsenal beat Real Madrid, the team they're really going to face. He was asked onto the penalty. He said, it's difficulty to see, but Julian Alvarez did touch the ball twice. Obviously, he did touch the ball twice, and things never went their way. Then we have Rodrigo. He said, I was on the bench, and the way the ball came out of Julian's boots was very strange. All of them were shouting, 2 touches. So I also started to shout. So that means it was seen by the players even that the guy had taken 2 touches, and it was evident. Now, if the people on the bench were able to obviously come and obviously evidence it, then how come VAR could miss out onto that? So kudos to VAR that the automated system went ahead to obviously detect that. That's what Rodrigo went ahead to say. These are all players that Arsenal is obviously going to be facing. Rodrigo is really a deadly one. Then Thibaut Courtois said Simeone's words that it was unfair to disallow Julian Alvarez penalty. He said, I think UEFA sees it clearly. I'm tired of this victimhood, of always crying about things like this. And now, with what happened, I don't know where Diego Simeone gets the audacity, to obviously say it was not right to disallow that penalty. Yet it went ahead to obviously strike 2 of the legs of the player we are obviously talking about. Then Luka Modric said, I don't know why they are surprised by the penalty. That's the rule. He touched it twice. Bad luck for them. So he's like, that was bad luck for them. They're obviously going to come up and obviously put in a very huge shift maybe later in revenge when they are playing into the La Liga. Now, Arsenal when you look at Arsenal, they're obviously going to be playing Real Madrid, I think, on the 9th, right? 9th and 8th, that's when they're obviously going to be playing the first leg. And Arsenal is going to be hosting Real Madrid first. You understand? Arsenal is going to be hosting Real Madrid first on the 8th, and then 16th, Arsenal will play away at Real Madrid. Now, I was on a certain TikTok live and told people that if you're an Arsenal fan, better call for Madrid to come. Because we've all gone ahead to see it that when Arsenal is playing teams that are really opening up, it is really a team that can obviously open them up and obviously utilize its chances. But you play a team like Atletico Madrid, very hard to break. We've seen it that in the absence here of Saka, Kai Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli, Arsenal have struggled to obviously break those low blocks. Something that they should obviously come up and obviously understand that it's not going to end now. And they should face a team like Real Madrid, whose defense is having issues, and they've gone ahead to concede very many. I think this season, they've gone ahead to concede like 10 penalties. That is Madrid for you. Their defense is not all that good. That's why they are really eyeing at William Saliba. They want to bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold. They're looking at very many central defenders and right backs into that system because they know that it's not okay with how things are really panning out at their side of Arsenal. So, as things stand, I tell you, it's not going to be business as usual for these other people that have obviously gone ahead, obviously coming through and really say what they're saying. But all I want to confirm to you is simple, that Arsenal is going to be playing Real Madrid. And for me, it's the best pick that Arsenal would ever get. Atletico Madrid is not a team you want to obviously face now, And Madrid will come in here knowing that Arsenal is an underdog. And by the way, in tournaments like this, you'd like to go into the quarterfinals when you're really being looked at as an underdog. Not so? So for me, I think it's the best pick for Arsenal. And I think they can obviously knock out Real Madrid because they defend very well. That is it. And the manager really played it very well that all the players that really had a yellow card, and if they got a yellow card, a second yellow card in the game of PSV, they would have gone ahead to miss out the game of Real Madrid. He put them out. And it was only Raheem Sterling that started, and he got a second yellow card, and he's not obviously going to be participating in that game. But remember, there is a boost of Bukayo Saka that is already coming after the international break that most of us are really looking at. So guys, let's wait and see how things are really going to pan out. This is the channel that brings you your latest news and information as far as everything is concerned onto this beautiful channel of ours. Rokani David is my name. I want you to go into the comment section and tell me your thoughts about Arsenal facing Real Madrid. Now, I'm going to be bringing you other draws in the next video, who is going to be facing who, but all I know, Barcelona is facing Borussia Dortmund. Then Bayern Munich is facing Inter Milan, and then Arsenal is facing Real Madrid, and obviously Aston Villa went through and they're going to be facing PSG. Remember, the most important bit of that fixture, Unai Emery was a former manager for a side called PSG. So guys, Thank you for watching in through. Rokani David is my name, and we're here to obviously discuss more and more about this beautiful game of football. First video of the day coming early in the morning, and more is yet to come. But continue to subscribe because we want to hit that number, the magic number of 25,000 subscribers. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell, and after hitting the notification bell, you'll obviously get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. So that's it, but I'm waiting for your reactions into the comment section below. Who do you think will go through? Is it Arsenal or it's Real Madrid? But I'm really one of those that believes that Arsenal really has a better chance to go through against Real Madrid than they would have gone ahead to have won when they are obviously taking on a side called Atletico Madrid. So Juma Karim, sorry, Ramadan Karim to the Muslims, and to the Christians, enjoy your Lent period, and we out. Bye bye. Rokani David remains my name.